The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 2.
Come on.
Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together?
All right. Ace, ask them online. Can they interact? Can they speak? All right. Who can break that down? What does this mean? What's this going into?
Yes, Cap, it's Brother James. Shalom, Most High Christ bless. I think they're saying, like, when you read Sirach 13 and 15, it says the poor doesn't have fellowship with the rich. So it's saying that don't interact, not necessarily don't interact, but don't fellowship with them because they don't have your best interest at all.
All right, deal with the best interest. Deal with that part. What do you mean? Expound on that.
The rich will never have the best interest of the poor in heart because all they are is trying to get money. They're trying to get more wealth. So they're not going to do anything to build you up, so to speak, because they want to keep you down because that's how they stay rich.
Right, that's it. That's correct. Good job. Now, read verse 2 again. We're going to read down.
Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 2. Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with the one that is mightier and richer than thyself.
Come on.
For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken.
Right, just like Brother James said, it's not comparable, okay? You try to compare those to each other, one is going to be broken, and the one that's going to be broken is the poor, okay? Now let's read on.
For if the one be smitten against the other...
I want verse 3.
Verse 3. The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal.
Right. It says when the rich man does what's wrong, he still has the power to threaten withal. Why? Because whoever has the money makes the rules. Right? Read on.
The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also.
Right. The poor get mistreated. They're wrong, but they still got to be humble and they got to entreat. Okay, so they're in a lose-lose situation. They could be taken advantage of, and they still got to be humble to get crumbs. Read.
If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. Right.
You just think about the white man. All right, think about how they used us, and look how they doing Levi right now. All right, just think about that situation. That's the perfect example. But it's sad to say, we have these type of examples that go on here in the truth. All right, you have some brothers and sisters who are predators, and they prey on the weak, the poor in this situation, and they take advantage of you. Okay, we're going to read on this. It's going to show that. Read it again.
Verse 4.
Come on.
If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Right, he's going to act like you ain't nobody. You got to watch spirits like that they only want to use you, but when it's hard, they have nothing to do with you. Give me Jude 1 and 16 real quick. Got to watch out for brothers and sisters like that. And especially when brothers and sisters, and we'll read down, I'm jumping the gun, but when you're in front of people, they act like they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna read down. Watch this.
Jude, verse 16. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lust, and their mouth speaketh great swelling words.
Right, they speak great swelling words. Why?
Having men's persons in admiration.
Right, because they have men's persons in admirations, meaning what? They're going to say the right thing to get close to the right people. Okay? That's what they're going to do. Drop that. Let's go back to where you was at.
Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 4.
Come on.
If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Right. Now give me Sirach 35 and 10. Let's see what God says about brothers and sisters who roll in that type of spirit. Okay? Watch this.
Sirach, chapter 35 and verse 10.
Read.
Give unto the Most High according as he hath enriched thee, and as thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye.
Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. He will not accept any persons against a poor man.
Right. God says he won't accept anybody who is against a poor man. Read.
But will hear the prayer of the oppressed.
Right. God will hear the prayer of the oppressed. Similar to what happened to us in Egypt. Same thing happening to us now. And when you are what? Taking advantage of brothers and sisters. Guess what? God is not dealing with you. He's not going to accept you, but he is going to hear the prayers for those who are being taken advantage of. Okay? Now, go back. Jump down, Sirach 13 and verse 5.
Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Come on.
If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it.
You see that? If you have anything, hey, let me stay with you. Sis, let me stay with you. And what? They're going to eat you out of a house and home. All right? Y'all should know the scripture I probably want. For the sake of time, though. Go to Sirach 11 and 29.
Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 29.
Come on.
Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains.
Right, the deceitful man. Remember, in Judas say he'd do what? He'll speak those great swelling words, all right, to have men in his admiration, right? Jump down to the 33.
Verse 33.
Come on.
Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot.
Lest he bring upon you a perpetual blot. He'll stain your name. Now do me a favor. Go back to Sirach 13, but read verse 1 this time. Watch this.
Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Come on.
He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Pitch is like mortar or wet cement. Read.
And he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him.
Right. If he proud, you're gonna be in that same thing. Now go back to Sirach 11:33. So you're gonna be in his. You're gonna be defiled just like him. Read.
Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 33.
Come on.
Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot.
Come on.
Receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee, and turn thee out of thine own.
Right. Turn you out of your own till you can't pay the rent. You ain't got no food in the fridge. All right. He'll take advantage of you. Okay. Now, let's go back to Sirach 13 and read 5.
Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Come on.
If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it.
Do me a favor. Go to Sirach 29 and 21. Watch this.
Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water, and bread, and clothing, and an house to cover shame.
Right. These are the chief things. Now read verse 20.
Verse 20. Help thy neighbor according to thy power.
Right. If you know you don't have all of these things in excess, all right, hey, you cannot afford to have somebody living with you. You cannot lend it to this brother or this sister. And if they still trying to do that, understand these people, they got the devil on them. Finish that out for me.
Verse 20.
Come on.
Help thy neighbor according to thy power.
Read.
And beware that thyself fall not into the same.
Right. Now, what is the same he's talking about? Verse 19.
Verse 19. A wicked man transgressing the commandments of the Lord shall fall into suretyship.
Right. Because, well, guess what? When you do that, when you're trying to help people that you know is no good and you know they're taking advantage of you, God says you are sinful too. You sinful too. Why? Because you let that sinful man get close to you. Now you're defiled with his wickedness. You understand? Read it again.
A wicked man transgressing the commandments of the Lord shall fall into suretyship.
That's just owing somebody because they always broke. I don't borrow from him. I don't borrow from her. So now I always got to pay somebody back. Read.
And he that undertaketh and followeth other men's business for gain shall fall into suits.
All right. Sirach 13 and 5. Read that again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Come on.
If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it.
Read on.
Verse 6. And if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee.
Right. And smile upon thee. Read.
and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say.
He will do what?
He will speak thee fair and say.
We read that in Jude, the big swelling words. Come on.
What wantest thou? And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. And at the last.
What verse you at? What verse you at?
Oh, I'm at 7.
Okay. Verse 7. Okay.
I was reading 6.
You were reading 6. Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to deal with the smile part.
Yes, sir.
Give me the one in Sirach 27 and 22. Going into exactly what it's saying right here. Read that.
Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 22.
Come on.
He that winketh with the eyes worketh evil,
You see that? It says, he that winketh with the eyes worketh evil. Read.
and he that knoweth him will depart from him.
He that knoweth him will depart from him. So you got to do what? You got to get some spiritual discernment. Stop being so simple. Israel, a lot of times, we love our people, but sometimes people ask for counsel with things that you should be doing. You want leadership to tell you everything. It's like, no, you got to have a clue. You have to be studied too so you can make the right decisions. Stop being, bashful. Give me that one I had one in Psalms. Let me look at it. Yeah, read this one real quick. Psalms 35, and then I want bashful.
The book of Psalms, chapter 35
And 19.
and verse 19.
Come on.
Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause.
Right. So God is saying those type of people, they're your enemies. They're not your friends. They're not your brothers. Who cares if they wear fringes? All right. If they're using you, mistreating you for money, all right, or whatever it may be, they're not your friend. They're your enemy. Thus saith the Lord. Now watch this. This is when you become wicked right here. Give me Sirach 20, and I want verses 22 and 23. Because like we read in Sirach 29, it say, if you do these things, that means you got the devil on you too. Now you're going to be begging. You're going to be living a beggar's life because this person sucked you dry. Now you're going to be wicked just like them. All right, watch this.
Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 22.
Uh-huh.
There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness.
Right, he doesn't want to speak up. All right, the poor don't want to speak up to the rich man. And God says by you doing that, you're destroying your own soul. Read.
And by accepting of persons overthroweth himself.
Right, you're going to destroy yourself by accepting that brother or that sister. Watch this.
There is that for bashfulness promised to his friend.
Read.
And maketh him his enemy for nothing.
You see that? You see how the scriptures all intertwined and say he your enemy is in Psalms 35:19. But you made him your enemy for nothing when you could have just said, I don't have it to spare. Right? You could have said that at the beginning. You could have easily said, nah, I can't do this. All right, this is going to put me, I'm going to be behind bills. But nah, you let it continue. Now you got bitterness toward that brother or sister, right? And now you destroyed your soul just like they were destroyed. When all you could have just said is, I'm sorry, but no. How about you go to the food pantry, right? Or how about, hey, maybe, ask leadership or something. But that's not your trial. That's not something you have to do. If you got it, do what you want to do. It's up to you, but you don't have to. Okay? Give me that in Hebrews 12. And then while I'm looking for this, give me the one in Corinthians, cheerful giver. Give me Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Come on.
Follow peace with all men
Uh-huh.
and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Right, it says follow peace. You should do what? Seek the peace. All right, you should be able to have, give me Sirach 7 and 36 real quick. And we coming right back to Hebrews, then we're going to hit Corinthians. Watch this.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 36.
Come on.
Whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end.
Do what?
Remember the end.
Come on.
And thou shalt never do amiss.
Stop being so simple. Think about what this could lead to, right? Think about, okay, if I do this, how long is this going to continue? Okay, if you can only do it for a week, say that, right? Tell them, like, I can only do this for a week. After that, you got to go. Or I can't give beyond this amount. Set those boundaries because you understand if you don't put a cap on it, it's going to end up being something detrimental that didn't have to be. And the Bible's telling you, when you think things through, you won't make these dumb decisions, right? Now let's go back to Hebrews 12 and 14.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Come on.
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Read.
Look diligently.
Looking diligently. When you looking diligently, you thinking it from front to back, start to finish, all the way through. Read.
Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God.
Come on.
Lest any root of bitterness.
See, lest any root of bitterness. That was that second part of Sirach 20 and 23. The root of bitterness is when one of your brothers and sisters become your enemy for no reason. It didn't have to happen. It's just that you were so quiet and so bashful, so scared to say something while this is going on. Now you become bitter. And now that brother, that sister becomes your enemy. Read.
Lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled.
Many be what?
Many be defiled.
Many be defiled. Many be defiled. Tell you what, drop the Corinthians 1. Let's just go back to Sirach 13, finish this out. Use it verse 7, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sirach chapter 13 and verse 7.
Come on.
And he will shame thee by his meats.
Now he gonna stun on you. He gonna stun on you. When you was helping him out, you understand? Now he gonna flip the script on you. Read.
Until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice.
Twice or thrice, meaning what? That type of brother or sister has no care for you at all whatsoever. And many of you have met brothers and sisters like that. Read.
And at the last, he will laugh thee to scorn.
You see, if you hit rock bottom, you think he gonna let you in the house? No, he gonna laugh you to scorn because you went against the commandment. Read.
Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee.
You told you when you get out in public, brothers start acting funny, sisters start acting funny. Those people, they not for you. Stay away from those type of people. Read.
And shake his head at thee. Verse 8. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down into thy jollity.
Right. So the scripture saying, hey, don't be simple, man. Don't be deceived. The warning signs are right there. Last scripture, give me Sirach 19 and 29. The warning signs are right there. Okay. Read this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 29.
Come on.
A man may be known by his look.
See, the man may be known by his look. Read.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him.
Two things. If he's winking, he's trying to speak good words to you, that's a red flag. Be on alert. Have your guard up. Number two, if you have understanding, he's not going to try to take. And understand, here in IUIC, we got processes in place for people who in need. You understand? Read.
A man may be known by his look.
Come on.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance.
Read.
When thou meetest him. Mm-hmm. A man's attire and excess of laughter and gait show what he is.
Show what he is. So you should not be left in the dark. Keep your eyes open. All right? So we'll go ahead and end class right there.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.